Hey guys, my name's Corey, and this is going to be another video about Town Hall 10 attack strategies. So this one's got a number of various attacks. The ones we're going to be doing today pulls from our war at WHF2 versus One Hive. And I gotta say, it was pretty fun warring against One Hive because, you know, they're such a well-known clan. They've been around for so long, producing great content. And they actually have, if you look right here, they've got ITZU from the original Dark Looters, and Eve Check, who is, I believe, the leader of the original Dark Looters as well. So, and you could see them in the CWL finals. They won it all in Season 1, Season 2 of CWL Invite. So it's pretty exciting getting to war against some big names like those guys. So we're going to jump right into attacks here. Like I said before, we got a number of strategies to show you today. The first two are going to be a couple Falcons on some lower tier bases. You know, and sometimes it looks like you could just throw the Falcon at a base and it's going to work, but I was actually helping Mango plan for this one, and we agonized over it for quite a while because we had a Town Hall 9 scout that walked a Queen Walk all the way up here and entered in here. You know, since it was a Town Hall 9 Queen, he had to burn 2 rages on the walk. Probably wouldn't have had to do that with level 40 Queen. But anyways, I mean, from this entry point right here, his Valks really didn't get a lot of value. And, you know, Mango was looking at going in there, and I said, man, I think there's a good chance if you go in there that they're going to bust right out of this base, not path to the rest of it, and take out that second Inferno. So what he came up with was walking the Queen from up here all the way around this corner, and still entering at the same spot, but having all these buildings be cleared so that there was no other way for the Valks to go than deeper into the base, which is a great plan. But I'll be honest, I was a little doubtful that the Queen was going to make that whole walk without sitting there and beating on a wall at some point. But he pulls it off beautifully. It was a pretty long walk. It got a lot of value. I was a little concerned about time on it, so I think he might have started an archer on another end or something. Maybe a minion somewhere to help with time. No, I guess he didn't. He was pretty confident in this, and he had every reason to be. It was an excellent attack. So we got some bowlers cutting in sides of the funnel. The bowler down on the left is cutting in the other side of the funnel later on for where the king and the Valks are going to enter. And he's got his Queen Walk starting up there. She hasn't taken any damage yet, so he's not putting any healers down until she does. Because if you put your healers down too early, they're going to go to a wizard that's getting hit, you know what I mean? And once you screw up your healer position, they start hitting Seeking Air Mines. They start getting hit by air defenses. So always best to wait if you have other ground troops down for your Queen to take damage to get those healers down. It's funny, I was spotting him on this attack too, and we were just like, where's she going to go next? Is she going to go to the army camp, or is she going to beat on a wall? Then a skelly trap pops up, and sure enough, she heads up that way and keeps walking around. At this point, he's got his king down on the other side, a Valk on a corner Tesla. Like I said, this was scattered by a Town Hall 9, so he knew that was there. Now, he didn't want his Queen to get targeted by the single target Inferno, so he dropped some of his Valks up here, and the other half down here, so that they would meet in the middle and go in. Now, the few Valks he dropped up here were just to tank that single target Inferno, so that he didn't have to waste his Queen's ability. And boom. Entering in the base now. Got pre-poisons down for the CC and the Queen. You know, and if you look at that funnel he created up top, there's just really not much of a place they can go. I was a little bit worried at this point they were going to leave those storages behind, and that would be an issue for cleanup, but, you know, you can't predict that sort of stuff, and sure enough, the king broke through the wall there and got him anyways. Valks are doing work down at the bottom while they're distracting the defenses. He sneaks the hogs in there to back them up. And this base is wrecked, and he had plenty of time left too. I was a little worried about the length of the walk, but he gets great splits on all his troops towards the end in the cleanup phase, and it's just an absolute crush. Really crushed the base. Great attack, Mango. Speed through the rest of this and get on to our next attack. trying to get onto my next attack. My wireless is being a little weird right now. Alright. There's going to be another Falcon by Dauntless. So if you take a look at this, we got some dead space around this area. And that dead space can be a really good tool to take advantage of for that side of the funnel. So basically, when this dead space right in here, it's like having a funnel pre-made for you. You got to funnel the buildings on the outside, sure, but that's a lot easier than funneling, say, defenses inside the wall. So he's taking advantage of this funnel that's already given to him on this side, and he's just going to do a bit of extra funneling on the outside here, probably a king or something coming down with a few wizards, and he's going to walk his queen down this way to enter in right here, and that puts you right next to that first inferno as well. So he had an excellent plan. Honestly, I looked at this base and for a little bit, and I really wasn't finding an entry that I liked, but as soon as I watched his attack, I was like, man, why didn't I think of that? Using a rage for the queen. You're always going to need one to get through the king. If there's any other sort of point defense on you, you definitely need it. If the king is just outside the base and you're not getting hit by any other defenses at all, you can usually save a rage by using a wizard with it. But most of the time, when you're encountering the enemy king, you're gonna be facing defenses as well. It's always gonna need a rage or an ability. And when you're dealing with bases with single target infernos, which is all we deal with now in this meta, it's really, really helpful to have that ability at the end of the raid in case it locks onto the queen. So he's bringing in hogs down there from the left because he was getting some tanking from a group of Valks there, and he's got wizards right behind to clean up. Now he's also getting tanking over on the right side, so he brings a few hogs in over towards that cannon as well. Normally not a good idea to split up the hogs on opposite sides of the base, but in this case, it was the right thing to do because his troops split and both those sides were being tanked. So anytime you're getting tanking done by Valks or core troops, that's a really excellent time to sneak in 2 or 3 hogs. And if the defenses are being tanked, 2 or 3 hogs is all it takes. And it might look like he has... No, he's got plenty of troops left. And even if they're dying towards the end of the raid, this is a crush. He never even had to use his queen's ability. There was never really any scary points at this raid where you thought you were going to run out of time or maybe not have enough troops. He just absolutely wrecked it. Alright, so after this, we're going to be getting into a couple of process attacks. Those ones were pretty straightforward. I mean, they might have been scouted by a Town Hall 9 first, but they were 3-starred by the very first Town Hall 10 hit that got them. Not all, and like I said, those are lower tiers, so that's a little more likely to happen on those. But what we've got next is going to be something we had to work a little bit harder for. So number 24 was eventually 3-starred by Dwyer, but let's take a look at the first hit on it by our number 15, Richie. Oh yeah, I remember this base. I remember this base. Alright, so let's see what Richie does here. Getting into the queen walk. Got a baby dragon on the left side to funnel, to determine which way the queen's going to walk. And he makes sure that archer tower targeted his queen walk before he dropped the baby dragon, because then it's going to stay alive a lot longer, get a lot more funneling done. So he's got a couple of 3-point defense on him now. Rage is going to have to come down. Boom. When you're queen walking Town Hall 10, you can't afford to wait to the last second to put down a rage. If you wait till the last second, she's going to die anyways. If you see her start getting below half and you know that she's taking damage from 2 heavy point defense or 3 especially, get that rage down fast because at that point her health goes pretty quick. So his queen stopped. Alright, I think he was the first Town Hall 10 to hit this. I don't think that he expected his queen to stop right there. Probably thought she was going to keep walking around the side, maybe do some funneling over in here and jump, his 2 golems straight in here with a bunch of bowlers behind. I'm not sure exactly what he had planned, but usually when your queen stops and beats a wall, that's not planned. So he managed to take advantage of it anyways. Wall breaks in right there. Queen follows in, gets all his bowlers in there. So it ends up working out okay. He's got a jump down. A rage is going to come down pretty soon. Oh, got a pre-poison down for the CC. And he's got 2 golems sitting in there, along with the king. Of course, the king gets targeted first by the single target Infernos because he moves faster than golems. And this base is just really falling. Some really nice pathing through the core of the base. The Infernos aren't too bad to access. You know, I know they were trying to cut off access with those little double walls in the core, but it didn't really work very well. And let's speed it up a little bit because this is a fail. And let's see where he falls short. His troops all stick together. That's a really good thing. But he's just going to end up running out of time. And I think the main problem on this is he's got 2 golems still walking around. Unpopped. Wow. They both still have full health. That's insane. So, I mean, for tanking purposes in the core, that would be great. But the core's gone. This is cleanup time. And 2 full health golems, not going to help you at all on cleanup. He's got a swag poison he never had to use, but he's just going to end up running out of time on this. I think he ends up with 85%. And I'll be honest, a couple of us hit this base. I was one of them. I dropped one of the... I saw that he had 2 full health golems, so I dropped a golem. I dropped 3 bowlers. I ran basically the same attack, but I had 8 back-end hogs and a skelly spell. And what happened is my golem ended up getting tanked a lot sooner. I delayed my king to try to save him. So my golem got targeted a lot sooner, and he went down really fast. And I did not get this nearly the same core push that Richie got. So I ended up getting like the same percentage of him, even with cleanup troops, just because my core push didn't go nearly as far. So let's see what Dwyer did here to adjust that and make it into a 3-star. It's not just the changing of the troop composition, because like I said, that was tried before and it didn't work. It's his timing on how he does this. He brings a lot more bowlers, only 1 golem. Quite a lot more bowlers, significantly a lot more bowlers. But the way that he deploys his golem is also very important. So the Queen Walk starts exactly the same. Baby Dragon on the left to funnel, Queen Walk on the right. That Rage is going to go down in pretty much the same spot because it's going to be tanking the exact same defenses. Right there. Now, he brings in wall breakers before the golem, and then he sends in his golem. Now, the queen's still in a rage with raged healers, so she's taken 4-point defenses just fine. That golem and bowlers come in at exactly the same time behind the queen. I mean, the timing there was insane. It was so perfect. He didn't even send his king in, but his timing was so great that he still got to send a full golem into the core, with a ton of bowlers. So he's got his spells down. Now that golem's finally getting targeted. That's fine. That golem's already in the core and it still has full health. It might go quick, but man, that timing was perfect and it really did its job. So we got both Infernos down at this point. Still got a bunch of bowlers in the core, and he saved his king and 5 bowlers to walk around that side of the base. We still got healers in the core. Let's see. He still had hero abilities, popped his king, cleaned it a little quicker. Man, what an excellent adjustment. I mean, the change in troops, that's like a no-brainer when you see 2 full golems at the end of a raid, but his timing on them was absolutely perfect. Beautiful 3-star Dwyer. Excellent adjustment there. All right, let's see what we got here. What do we got next? Ooh, we got another process video. So we're going to go the very first attack that was done on number 22 by our 20. So he had a plan for a queen charge Lalo, which I think is a good plan. Just if you look at the pathing of the base, so he's looking at queen charging this whole area right here, taking all this stuff out, maybe even that too, I'm not sure. And if you get in there far enough, you can reach, God, both of these sweepers if you get in there far enough. I'm not sure if you'll be in quite that far, but I bet you at least get 1 on the charge. And look what that leaves. That's going to leave you with this beautiful, skinny little L shape through the rest of the base, which is perfect for pathing. Whether you're doing Lalo on the back end or hogs, when you get a nice L shape that's that skinny, that's some excellent pathing. So he's got the queen tanking with their healers. I believe he had 5 of them. He's got the baby dragon on the other side, doing some funneling. Now, he lets his queen get really low, and that was his mistake. He drops his rage really late, and you really can't afford to do that with Town Hall 10 level defenses. Now she's taking 4 point defenses right now, and she's just barely hanging on, and then boom, she goes down. At this point, your raid's basically over. I mean, he's gonna play it out just for the sake of getting information for the rest of our attackers. But I mean, you got 2 hounds, 17 loons to take out 90% of the base still. You didn't get a queen kill. You didn't get a CC kill. So really important to make sure that you know what kind of defenses are going to be targeting your queen. And anytime there's 3 or more point defenses hitting her at the same time, you got to have that rage down immediately. So he's just going to run through the Lalo pathing, let it time out. Just kind of checking out the pathing and the traps through the rest of this base. You know, and we get a lot of good info from that. If the next attacker decided to go Lalo with it. But let's take a look. Let's see what the next attacker does. That's going to be R25. And they're 22. So next attacker is going to use the same charge, but he brought hogs. Now, one reason, like I said before, the pathing through the base is going to be really conducive to hogs. But anytime that you can get your king and queen on the queen charge itself, then hogs become a really good option. You know, at lower town hall levels, you don't really worry about the king too much. But at Town Hall 10, you have to. Level 40 King has an insane amount of health points, and he's a beast. He's really hard to kill. You know what I mean? It takes quite a lot of hogs to kill him, and he can kill quite a lot of hogs chasing around the base. Level 40 King is no joke. So a lot of times you got to take that into account. Whether you're going to be hogging or not, can you take care of the king? Maybe he's exposed on the backside, and you can do a king trade kill, so that would make it good for hogs. In this case, you can get him on the charge itself. So hit a good wall break right in there. He's got his king down on the other side, funneling the trash away. Otherwise, she would walk down instead of going in the base. So using the king just to funnel her in. I think he's going to run into the king first. Maybe he might not aggro the king quite yet from right here. We'll have to see. Got that rage down. Definitely needed it. All right, we got CC coming out. Poison's going to come down to slow down the CC. He's got his wall break down for the next section, so after she's done with the CC, if she doesn't aggro the king at all, she will walk out and back into that next section of the base right there, where she's going to be taking out some wizard tower, bomb tower. Wow, now he decided to do this charge with only 1 rage. That takes guts, but he really wanted that extra heal for the hogs, because it is, you know, it's kind of a long L shape. And, you know, for the most part, he manages to do it. Having his king down early to tank some of the other defenses can help you save a rage sometimes. At this point, you're going to need a pop ability to kill the queen and the enemy king, and boom, he's already bringing in his hogs because that single target Inferno is already in range of the queen, and she's already got both heroes in the CC down. So you bring in those hogs too late, and your queen's going to get fried by that single target Inferno. So even though his queen stayed alive, he's still got a healer transfer. Nice. His queen's going to go down still, but that healer transfer is excellent. The healer transfer can really, really help your hogs out a lot. It's no substitute for having heal spells, don't get me wrong, but it's still a huge help in maintaining them between heal spells. And I'm going to speed this up. This was a fail. Beautiful attack that it was. Barely time failed on it. You know, could he have had his cleanup down a little sooner? Maybe. Honestly, I didn't pay attention to that part. It's really tough to get into the habit when you're trying to get all these defenses down of as soon as your hogs go down, you set down a couple wizards or a couple minions. You know what I mean? You got to put like 3 of those things down right behind your first hogs, because if your hog portion takes, you know, a minute 20 seconds, you could have those troops behind them cleaning up that whole time. So that was just an absolute heartbreaking time fail right there. But at the same time, it was an excellent attack. And, you know, if you're halfway decent at a queen charge, it's not that tough to clean up. So we got Dwyer coming in here, cleaning it. Nope, just kidding. Wrong base. Waiting for this connection. Maybe I should restart the tablet, huh? All right, so we got Archer that comes in for the 3-star. Not many changes to the plan. It might have brought maybe a few more cleanup troops, but honestly, the last guy that hit it had plenty of cleanup troops too. I think, you know, it's just a matter of getting them down right away. And time's always tight on these queen charge attacks with back-end troops, you know, so absolutely have to have that cleanup down immediately, or chances are you are going to time fail, because by nature, I mean, they're really strong attacks, but they're always close on time. You know, you don't ever see a queen charge hog attack that has a minute and a half left on it. You know what I mean? Not at Town Hall 10. It just doesn't happen. So he comes down. He's got that one rage in the same spot. And this attack's playing out exactly the same as the last one. He did an excellent job of putting troops in the right spaces and timing it so that he gets the exact same walk. The walk before was perfect. Nothing needed to change on that. In fact, you want to go out of your way to make sure you place them exactly the same way at the same time. Look for little markers. When this building goes down, then you bring in wall breakers, something to that effect. You know, I think that wall break right there was extra. I don't think he had that one on the last attack. Using the ability to take out the enemy heroes, because he only had one rage in the comp. Bringing in those hogs right away. And let's see. There. A wizard down right behind him. Immediately. He dropped those hogs and immediately dropped a wizard right there. Now he's on to healing the hogs. Queen goes down. So healers come over and transfer. And he dropped his CC hogs down on that side. Take out that Tesla there and improve the hog pathing and clear that extra giant bomb too without the whole main group of hogs having to go on it. And after he dropped his CC hogs, he put down even more of his cleanup right there as well. So the whole time these hogs are going, he's got cleanup going on. And basically every chance he gets, like right after dropping a heal on those hogs, he's putting down more cleanup troops just in the areas where they're needed. And so they're working through this base. The whole time those hogs are going, cleanup is already going. Beautiful attack. Bunch of hogs left up. You know, and having a bunch of hogs left up will definitely help with that end of the trash ring, but it's not something that you can count on. Not something you can count on at all. Got to get that cleanup down in time. Excellent adjustment. Excellent 3-star from Archer. All right, now we're going up to base number 17. This is going to be a 2-attack process video. First one to hit it was our number 16. Let's see who we got at 16. Ooh, Big E. I remember this one. This is a Bowler Witch attack. Excellent attack. What you're going to notice about this base is the splash really doesn't reach the outside of the base barely at all, except for maybe a few mortars, but you know what I mean? Most of those splash buildings are on the inside. So she's got Bowlers and Witches on that side with 2 healers. And I don't believe she used any healers on the other flank over there. Honestly, I think it looks fairly identical, so I'm not sure why she decided to use healers on one side and not the other. But, you know, it might have just been about troop space. So we got the flank troops down, then we got the main group down. The flank troops come down first because they're funneling the middle group to stay in towards the core. Got a double jump to get into the core. We got a rage, a heal, and another rage right there. Now she's gonna start hitting some bombs in the core, which can be really tough on bowlers. Doesn't take many bombs before they're done. Still, pretty good core push though. Let's see. Queen decides to walk around. Is she gonna get that Inferno? She's got a Skelly spell for that backside Inferno. Oh, almost gets the Inferno. Maybe Queen ability should get it, though, I believe. But if you look down at the flanks, we don't have any more bowlers up top. We do have some witches with healers, but not enough. You know what I mean? Especially they're coming into some heavy fire. You know, all it takes is a spring trap, and those, you know, those witches are pretty well done. Or a giant bomb. We got 3 witches on this other side here. You know, one thing about witches is they take a long time to clean on their own. So she's just not going to have quite enough steam on this attack. Excellent plan, though. Anytime you get a 90+%, that plan's worth taking a look at to see what small adjustments you can make to turn it into a 3-star. 92%. Excellent first attack. So let's see what adjustments are made to turn this attack that's 92% into a triple. And this is going to be Dauntless that triples this one. So what does he have? He's only got 1 healer in this comp. I'm really interested to see what he does here. He has more witches. He's bringing giants in the line. Honestly, I was under the impression that he maybe used more healers than she did, but that's not the case at all. Only used 1 healer on that side. I think he changed up his placement a little bit, because if you look, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 witches, and we got 3 bowlers all sticking together, all walking on that side of the base. So the adjustment that he made at 3 o'clock is different placement of them. He placed them in a way that would encourage them to stay together and walk around that side of the base. Now on the bottom, he put a giant in at that mortar before he dropped down his witches, and you want to keep that giant spaced out, because if you put the giant too close to the mortar, it'll tank everything except the mortar. So he puts a giant way out there a little bit so that it starts taking the mortar shots, so his witches can get down, his bowlers can get down, and they can start doing damage without having to eat 3 or 4 mortar shots right off the get-go. So by the time they come around the corner and get that mortar, they're pretty much full health as well. Some excellent, very small, but some excellent adjustments right there. So his core push is basically the same. He might do his inner spells a little different. All right, he sets his heal just a little further in because he knows about all those giant bombs in there. Boom. Busts his king ability before it gets targeted by the single target Inferno. So all those barbarians in there are able to tank for it as well. So you're going to notice at this point we've got more witches still alive on the top with the healer. And they got the same amount on the bottom. But honestly, his core push went a lot better. He managed to keep his time as king better, keep his king alive longer, and still in there tanking. And there's just not as much these edge troops have to deal with on the end of this. It can be really tough to adjust a bowler witch attack because you never know what witches are going to do. They can be really temperamental, you know, but a highly skilled player that's really used to doing that sort of thing can make those adjustments. Excellent 3-star off of a really great first hit. So perfect adjustments. And we've got one more attack for you. It's going to be on their number 15. Let's see. The first one that hit it was R11. Okay. All right. So first one that hit it is going to be John. Now he's coming in. He's going to do a queen charge right in this area right here, and using the Lalo for the back end. And basically, he's thinking that from here, he could probably break this wall, and we could definitely break that wall. It's just a matter of getting tanking over here for this bomb tower, you know, a test wall breaker down. You break that wall, and if you walk your queen in here, you're grabbing that expo, you're grabbing that sweeper, you're going to get both these air defenses and the queen and the CC, which is, you know, really all the stuff you need. And he probably figures the queen will walk out at that point and grab this wizard tower, setting up a pretty decent Lalo back end. Now let's see how it goes for him. Got his queen down, tanking. Got a baby dragon over there to set that side of the funnel. You got to get it down fast, because if you wait too long, your queen very well might walk to the left instead. She walks to the left. She's not getting any air defenses. She's going to eat a single target Inferno. So, pretty nice little walk he's got going in there. He's got the king down tanking, just like I said. Now, he's going to bring in a test wall breaker, just kind of see where it's going to go at this point, because the wall breaker has a lot of choices, honestly. Boom. First wall breaker goes right there. Now, the CC comes out, so he's got to get a poison down. So he didn't have time to send in the next group of wall breakers, which works out well because the second group he sends goes in right for this point, right under the CC troops. You know, a little scary that they're going to take a little dragon fire, but look at that beautiful break. This accesses probably a lot more of the base than he planned on having access. Now, he's got access to the queen. He's got access to another air defense. I don't know if he thought he already had the queen down or that air defense is down, but he started his Lalo too early. He needed to wait for this air defense to go down at the very least. And, you know, probably the queen as well, because, you know, you don't want to miss an ability while you're trying to kill the enemy queen. But so what happens is his hound right here goes for this air defense because he didn't have it down yet, and so it doesn't do any tanking for this side of the base for these loons, and that's why it's going to end up in a fail. He sent that hound in too early. So, you know, it's still a nice little check on the base for, you know, traps and that sort of thing, see how loons are going to path. So it's still going to definitely help the next attacker to hit this base. So that's why it falls short. The hound doesn't tank at all. It was basically a swag hound. So let's see the adjustments that Dauntless makes for this. Now, from that... Oh, wrong base. Now, even though he sent his hound, he started his Lalo too early, we got some really great information about that base, particularly where that wall break was possible, how much of the base that was going to open up, and the kind of pathing that was going to be left for the loons after that. Really, really promising. So... let's see how Corey makes the adjustments here. Basically the same troop comp, I believe. I don't think there's really any problems with the composition. Let's speed it up just a little bit. Get this queen walk in here because we just watched that a minute ago. King's going to come down on the other side to tank for those defenses and to cut the funnel. You know what I mean? Otherwise, the queen's going to walk, you know, equal chance of walking up and around to the right as she does of going on the base. So bring the king down to tank those defenses, buy the queen a little bit of time, and also to cut that side of the funnel to determine where she's going to walk. Now he's going to wait for this building and this building to get down, because at that point, this building will be the closest building behind a wall left where that wall breaker is going to come into this corner. But if he sends his wall breakers in too early, they're probably going to target this little compartment right here and not open up nearly as much of the base as this one is going to do. So let's see how he times them. Air defense down. Send a test in there just in case there's any bombs in there. Now he's sending all his wall breakers. As soon as that defense goes down right there. Poison for the CC, rage for the queen and the wall breakers. And look at that. He raged those wall breakers just in time. Since they're raged, they go in and get another layer deeper in the base. Right in front of the enemy queen. Right under her nose. That's kind of insulting, honestly. I love it. Great. Great wall break there. Now he's a little more patient on his Lalo because he saw what happened with the last one. He waited for the queen to go down and he waited for that air defense to go down. Now you see that entry hound paths the right way, right in front of all these defenses, tanking the archer tower, tanking the Tesla, pulling up a red mine that really wreaks havoc on loons. And he got it in soon enough that it's going to be tanking that single target Inferno, so his queen stays up, cleaning these buildings, and, you know, and possibly targeting other defenses later in the raid as well. And she's still got her ability. Now, at this point, it's tough. You got an ability, well, it's going really great, really excellent at the attack. The thing that's tough is keeping an eye on your queen's ability and deploying all these freaking loons and spells at the right time. Really difficult to do that. That's where it's really helpful to be in an organized clan with somebody spotting you. So you can focus on your loons and they can watch your queen's health. And if she steps in range of that single, you know what I mean? Boom, pop your queen, or watch your queen. She's in range of the single, you know, pop her. There's usually a little bit of lag, so usually, you know, as soon as you see it getting targeted by the single, watch your queen, you're going to need to pop her. Boom, pop the queen. She stays alive. This base is absolutely wrecked. What do we got, 10 loons coming at an archer tower right now? Yeah, it can't keep up. You know, and this is just like the Queen Charge Hog attack. As soon as you start that Lalo, as soon as you send in those loons and hounds, you're starting minions right behind it. Minions, wizards, whatever you're using for cleanup. Usually it's minions. But you got to start that cleanup right away. Sure, you're going to have lava pups, but you can't count on where those are going to be. A lot of times your lava pups are going to get taken out by Seeking Air Mines. A lot of times they're too deep in the base. There's not going to be much left at all. But you definitely don't get to determine where those go. So you're going to end up leaving up some buildings if you don't bring some other cleanup and get it down immediately. Beautiful attack, beautiful adjustment by Corey. The other Corey, not me. Corey with an E. So that was all the attacks that I've got you today. I think we brought a number of different Town Hall 10 strategies and definitely showed how you can make adjustments to scouts or to previous attacks. Take good things from those attacks. Maybe you had a queen charge that worked really well. The pathing looked really good on that, but maybe some other things didn't go right. And you see what you can build on from that pathing, that sure pathing, to make it into a 3-star attack. So sometimes you got to change your back end troops entirely if you notice that you're going to get the king on the charge too. But usually it's just a little bit smaller adjustments. Sometimes it's as simple as remembering to get your cleanup down in time. That's another thing that having a spotter can help you with. So excellent war with one hive. Really fun to war against. You know what I mean? Well, first of all, it's really fun to be in a clan that's really well known in WHF, although I am only in WHF too. But it's pretty cool to actually get to war against some guys that you've been watching on YouTube for years. Just, behemoths, ITZU was 3-starring Town Hall 11s when nobody was 3-starring Town Hall 11s because they were that crazy hard, So it's really amazing to be able to war against guys like that. It's pretty fun. All right, guys, I hope you liked the video. Please hit the like button. And, leave if you want something other than Town Hall 10 war attacks. That's kind of what I'm focused on right now because that's where I'm at in the game, and that's the most exciting part of it for me right now. But if you guys want to see some other kind of content that's war-related, maybe Town Hall 9 attacks, or I guess I could do Town Hall 11 too, but if you want to see that stuff, let me know in the comments. If not, I'm just going to keep doing Town Hall 10 because I think that's where the biggest challenge and the most fun is right now. So you guys, I'll see you for the next video.